Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is holding everything together. On the outside, they look fine. But on the inside, everything is falling. The job, the relationship, the health, the plans they made, the life they imagined. All of it, crumbling at once. And nobody is teaching them the one skill that matters most in that moment. How to be still when everything is moving. This is the story of James. And the storm that taught him everything he needed to know. James was 38 years old, and he had always been the calm one. In his family, when arguments broke out, James was the one who spoke quietly and brought the temperature down. At work, when deadlines collided and colleagues panicked, James was the one who said, "Let's think about this clearly." His wife, Anna, called him her anchor. "Nothing shakes you," she said once, with a mixture of admiration and mild frustration. "Things shake me," James said. "I just don't show it." "That's not the same as being calm," she said. He didn't understand what she meant. Not then. James's calm had a secret. It was not real calm. It was control. He stayed calm because he controlled his environment carefully. He planned. He prepared. He anticipated problems before they arrived. He kept his world within manageable boundaries, boundaries he could see, predict, and influence. As long as he could control things, he was calm. But control, as James was about to discover, is not the same as peace. And life, sooner or later, takes away the control. It happened in the space of 90 days. First, his company restructured. His position was eliminated. After 14 years, he was out. 3 weeks later, his mother had a stroke. Serious, sudden, life-changing. 6 weeks after that, Anna told him she had been unhappy for a long time, that she needed space, that she wasn't sure about the future of their marriage. 3 things. 90 days, Job, mother, marriage. The 3 pillars of his life shaking simultaneously. His friend, Robert, a man who had been through his own version of collapse 5 years earlier, called him one evening. "How are you holding up?" Robert asked. "I'm fine," James said automatically. Silence on the other end. Then Robert said, "Asterisk? James, I've known you for 15 years. I know what I'm fine sounds like when it's true. This doesn't sound like that." James was quiet for a long moment. Then, for the first time, he said the real answer. "I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to be calm when I can't control anything. I've never been here before, and I'm terrified." Robert listened without interrupting. When James finished, Robert said something unexpected. "James, can I tell you what I learned when my life fell apart?" "Please," James said. "I learned that there are 2 kinds of calm. The first kind is the calm of control. It feels like peace, but it's actually just the absence of chaos. It depends entirely on circumstances. When circumstances change, it disappears. The second kind is the calm of acceptance. It doesn't depend on circumstances. It exists inside you, regardless of what is happening outside. You have spent 38 years practicing the first kind. Life is now asking you to learn the second." James thought about that for many days. The calm of control versus the calm of acceptance. He had never considered that they were different things. He had assumed the way most people do that calm was calm. That if you weren't panicking, you were okay. But Robert's words opened something in him. Because he realized he had been panicking. Not loudly, not visibly, but internally, constantly, he had been running. Running from the uncertainty. Running from the questions he couldn't answer. Will I find another job? Will my mother recover? Will my marriage survive? He didn't know. And not knowing for a man who had built his life on knowing was its own kind of terror. The breaking point came on a Wednesday morning. James was sitting at his kitchen table, coffee in front of him, untouched. His phone had 17 unread messages. His laptop had 11 unanswered emails. His notebook had a list of things to do that kept growing faster than he could address them. And he sat there unable to move. Not because he was lazy. Not because he didn't care, but because, for the first time in his life, the gap between what needed to be done and what he could control was so wide, he couldn't find the bridge. He pushed everything aside, the phone, the laptop, the notebook, and he just sat in the silence of his kitchen, with his cold coffee, and his unanswered questions. And something strange happened. The world didn't end. The emails were still there, but they could wait. The messages were still there, but none of them were emergencies. The list was still there, but it would still be there in an hour. In the silence, without the noise of trying to control everything, he noticed something. He was breathing, slowly, steadily, in and out. His heart was beating. His body was functioning. The sun was coming through the window. The coffee was still warm enough to drink. In this moment, right now, this specific moment, he was okay. Not in the future. Not in the abstract. Right now. This second. He was okay. And that was the beginning of understanding something he had never been taught. Panic lives in the future. Calm lives in the present. When you are overwhelmed, you are not overwhelmed by now. You are overwhelmed by everything you are imagining about tomorrow, next week, next month, all the possible futures, all the worst outcomes arriving simultaneously in your mind right now. James had been living in 100 possible futures, all of them frightening, all of them uncertain, instead of living in the one present moment that was actually real. He thought about a snow globe. When you shake a snow globe, the snow flies everywhere, chaotic, blinding, disorienting. But if you set it down, if you stop shaking it, if you simply let it be still, the snow settles, slowly, gently, until you can see clearly again. James had been shaking himself for 90 days. Shaking with worry, with planning, with trying to control what could not be controlled. And the snow, the chaos, had blinded him completely. He needed to set himself down. To stop shaking, to let the snow settle. He picked up his coffee, drank it slowly. Then he opened his notebook. Not to the list of things to do, but to a blank page. And he wrote one question. What is the one thing, just one, that I can do today that is actually within my control? Not everything. Not the job search and the hospital visits and the marriage conversations and the financial planning. One thing. He wrote the answer. Visit Mom. Just be there. Don't try to fix anything. Just be there. He closed the notebook, got in the car, and drove to the hospital. His mother was awake when he arrived. Her speech was slower now. Her left hand didn't move the way it used to. But her eyes, when she saw James walk through the door, were completely herself. He sat beside her bed. He didn't bring solutions. He didn't bring a plan. He didn't try to make it better or fix what couldn't be fixed. He just held her hand and talked about small things. The weather outside, a memory from his childhood, the way she used to make soup on cold Sunday afternoons. She smiled, and in that room, with the beeping of machines and the uncertainty of everything, James felt something he hadn't felt in 90 days. Calm, not the calm of control, the calm of presence, the calm of being completely, fully, entirely here. He called Robert that evening. I think I understand now, he said. Tell me, Robert said. Calm isn't something you achieve by solving everything. It's something you find by stopping and being where you are. I've been trying to think my way to the other side of this, but there is no other side yet. There's only today. And today, I sat with my mother. And it was enough. Robert was quiet for a moment. That, he said softly, is the second kind of calm. The twist in James's story is not that everything got better. Some things did. He found new work. Eventually. His mother recovered. Partially. He and Anna began talking, really talking, for the first time in years. But some things remained hard. Some questions remained unanswered. Some uncertainty remained, as it always does, as it always will. The twist is not resolution. The twist is this. James stopped needing everything to be resolved before he could be okay. He learned to be okay inside the uncertainty. To be calm, not because the storm had passed, but because he had found something inside himself that the storm could not reach. So how do you stay calm when everything is falling apart? Not by controlling more, not by planning harder, not by thinking faster, not by solving everything at once, but by understanding three things that nobody teaches you, but that change everything once you know them. 1. Separate now from later. Right now. In this exact moment. Are you okay? Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not in the worst possible future your mind has constructed. right now? Most of the time, the answer is yes, and right now is the only place you actually live. 2. Find the one thing. When everything feels overwhelming, it is because you are trying to carry everything at once. Put it all down and ask, what is the one thing, just one, that I can do today that is within my control? Do that thing. Only that thing. Tomorrow, ask again. 3. Be where you are. The storm outside cannot reach the place where you are fully present. Not planning. Not worrying. Not managing. Just here. With the person in front of you. With the coffee in your hand. With the breath in your body. Fully. Completely. Here. Calm is not the absence of chaos. Calm is the presence of yourself. Inside the chaos. It is not something the world gives you when things get better. It is something you carry, built quietly, in the moments when you choose presence over panic, over and over, until it becomes who you are. The storm will pass. It always does. But you don't have to wait for it to pass to find your stillness. Your stillness is available, right now, in this moment, if you stop shaking the snow globe and let yourself be still. If this story found you at the right moment, in the middle of your own storm, share it with someone who is holding everything together on the outside while falling apart on the inside. Because somewhere out there is a James sitting at a kitchen table with cold coffee and 17 unread messages who just needs to hear, you are okay right now. Right now is enough. Be here. This video is for him. This video is for you. Thank you for watching.